The Northwest iRacing Truck Series back on the dirt again. Knoxville tonight should be an exciting one. We welcome you to coverage from the virtual Knoxville Raceway on the iRacing server in Iowa. This is the next round of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series presented by the Tom Denchel Automotive Group, and tonight the Knoxville Dirt Bowl on your home for sim racing, LSRTV, and those that are listening live on the Community Radio Network. Good evening. I'm Wesley Outland, joined alongside in Spokane, Washington is Greg Rentz. In California is Samuel Dyer, three-man broadcast crew, and then the production truck, as always, from Wichita Falls, Texas, for LSRTV is Charles Wooten. Greg, it's been a while since we worked together, buddy. You've been doing real races, so have I, but tonight, the dirt slinging, Knoxville action for the trucks. It should be a good one, my friend.
I'm excited for this. Knoxville, the host of the now Dirt Derby, or Dirt Bowl, whatever we're calling it nowadays, but it switched over from Eldora this year to Knoxville, and tonight the Northwest Truck Series makes their first visit to Knoxville. Looking forward to this one. This one's been circled on the calendar for quite a while. Wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it tonight, but here we are, ready to sling some mud here in Knoxville, Iowa, here tonight.
Samuel, we had a very eventful all-star race for the SMB Cup Series, and now we are ready for the continuation of that with the trucks at Knoxville. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see some dirt racing here, and I'm hoping these drivers are going to be a little bit cleaner than what we see from real-life NASCAR a couple of weeks back. I mean, that was some fun seeing those drivers take on, but here I'm excited for the Northwest guys, see who's going to be tackling here. This is the second dirt race in the trucks this season. We were back at Bristol for week number 8, where we got to see Devin West win. I'm interested to see if Devin West can get another dirt race under his belt.
It'll be a good one. Let's take a look at the race analysis presented by RaceOnTexas.com. Tonight, it is a very special format, if you will, which will include practice. Qualifying is heat races. Then 30-minute practice session will then set up 2-lap qualifying. Then you will see heat races. The heat races will set up the lineup for a 140-lap race. No, actually, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. That was two-lap qualifying. Actually supposed to be doing heat races, then a 100-lap race for the trucks here tonight. Yeah, I don't understand that. Weather conditions presented by sawblade.com. Good save there, Charles. Looking at it, 74 degrees. Track temp is cooler than the track temperature, than the ambient temperature, Greg. Why is that? And it's a little windy outside and partly cloudy skies.
That's because it's not asphalt that's beaten down in the sun. It's dirt, and it's got some water in it tonight as well, keeping it cool. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Our second dirt race of the year. Devin West put on a show at Bristol here earlier in the year for Bristol Dirt, but this is an actual dirt track, Wesley. This track does dirt racing every single Saturday night. This is a purpose-built dirt facility that these guys are going to be wheeling and dealing. And Devin West, he's a dirt track racer in real life, so he knows a thing or two about the realms of dirt racing. So it's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot, fun to watch it go here tonight.
You know, you were just talking about Knoxville Raceway, and yeah, they are a real racetrack. Of course, they get ready for next month in the Knoxville Nationals, which was for 360 sprint cars as well as 410 sprints. Big money for those guys. And then, of course, from there on, you look at also in October or September, the Lucas Oil Knoxville Nationals here. Always things going on. And then this past Friday night, wild truck race. And we're going to see our virtual gang of the Northwest Truck Series battle it here in Knoxville. So you see just some of the practice going on. Let's take a look at the point standings moving into this event here tonight. For the drivers of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series is currently Sean Brightsman, 2 wins on the season out of 14 races, 2 poles, 9 top 5s, 12 top 10s. He's at the top of the board. 60 points back is his teammate, Dan West Jr. with 2 wins, 2 poles. By the way, Dan West Jr., his son, Devin West, won on the dirt here at on LSRTV for Bristol the last time we had a dirt broadcast. He is currently now 5th in the point standings. Caden Anderson is 3rd. Jeff Stab now back to 4th. Devin West as the currently, Greg, the top 5 in the point standings as you give the rundown of the top 10.
As we roll through the rest of the top 10, gotta give me just 1 second to get my bearings here back there. It's been a little bit since I've been in the LSRTV booth. Stephen O'Hare sitting in the 6th spot. Tyler King and John Ottenbacher round out the top 8 with Dennis Moore. And how about Robert Gamble up in the top 10, Wesley? It's been a great season for Gamble.
Samuel, what do you think, man, of the point standings, top 10? Anything can happen. This is dirt.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of these drivers right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Dennis Moore, 9th in points. If he can really get a buffer, that'd be helpful as we're inching closer and closer to playoff time, including tonight's race. 7 races until we are done with the regular season. Top 12 get to move on. And, looking at some of the other drivers that are going to need some better days to show, Ryan Bloom, he is looking quick tonight, coming in at around 16th place in points. So a solid day today could bump him up even closer to that 12-point marker.
And it is time to take a look at your starting lineup for heat race number 1. Again, we will give you the lineup for heat race number 1. 15 laps the distance, heat number 1. This will go, as we've always said, 1-1-1-1, 2-2-2-2, 3-3-3-3, and so on. Ryan Bloom will be on the pole in heat race number 1, the driver of the number 25. To the outside will be Sean Brightsman in the number 46. Row 2. Well, actually, know what? My apologies. No, dominant scoring's got it backwards here. My bad. Row 1 is going to be Dan West Jr. in the 55 to the outside. His son, Devin West, in the number 5, the Bristol Dirt winner. Row number 2 will find Stephen O'Hare in the 41, Chris White in the 83. The rest of the field begins to roll. Onto the racetrack. And moving on to row number 3, we'll also see the drivers of Dan Lowther and Stephen Paulison. In the back will be John Ottenbacher and Aaron Cooper. So, gentlemen, Greg, there's the lineup for heat race number 1.
Heat race number 1, and we got a couple dirt ringers on the front row. The West family, Dan West Jr., who won Eldora last year, Devin West, who won Bristol earlier this year. So the 2 most recent dirt winners on the front row of this heat race. Going to be interesting to watch how they tackle Knoxville, as this is the first time the Northwest Truck Series races at Knoxville, Iowa.
Well, Samuel, what do you think we're going to see coming up here in heat number 1, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the West family. I'm wondering if Devin West is going to be able to beat out his dad, as Dan West came out with the pole position and the fastest of all the trucks during qualifying. Devin West was the 4th fastest, but they were off by just about 2/10 from one another based off of time. We'll see if Devin West has anything for that 55 truck.
Ready for the lineup for heat race number 1. The trucks at Knoxville coming to green, underway. Turn 1, and Dan West Jr. gets a great jump over Sun West. O'Hare, we're underway on the back straightaway.
Great look at Dan West Jr. right there, the number 55, the winner at Eldora last year. His son Devin right there at the top of your screen in the red number 5 as he tries to close in. Look at Stephen O'Hare, who picked up a win earlier this season in that number 41, trying to get things going again on the dirt in the American touch-up Ford. Great look at the number 41. Love the fact that you can get up so close and personal with these trucks at this racetrack. Going to make for some awesome camera shots here tonight as we watch these guys rock and roll here around the half-mile Knoxville Raceway.
Good smooth start, Samuel. 2 laps already in this thing here. 3 laps completed, and then it's I guess they're going to be 10-lap heat races instead of 15 like they were at Bristol. But nonetheless, a good run there for the machine. Dan West Jr.'s, we got trouble. The truck's getting sideways. 1 going up and over. Upside down. Chris White, 83, and Paulison as well in 58, but no caution.
Yeah, heat racing, there are no cautions. If you find yourself in an incident, you just got to get yourself either towed to pit road or back on all four. And that's what Chris White had to do, is get back on all four, and he'll now limp his way through. As our leaders come around turn number 4, now they've got a shot to deal with lap traffic. As Dan West Jr., Devin West cross the line. Lap 5 comes to a start. But for White and Paulison, they were battling for 5th place, side-by-side action, and you got to be careful when you're battling this hard in heat number 1. This is going to be terrible track position for the featured race.
We watch these guys working their way back around the racetrack, trying to save their equipment. Here in heat race number 1, Dan West Jr., Devin West, his dad, leading, son behind him. Stephen O'Hare sitting in 3rd. Everybody, for the most part, Greg playing nice, all simple before we had that calamity just a moment ago with Paulison and Chris White. But other than that, everyone else single file as the laps wind down in heat race number 1 at Knoxville.
Good news is, Wesley, that this is just the heat race. This is not the main event. So they're going to have a perfect opportunity to bounce back here in the main event. Just the heat race to set positions. Once they turn loose for that main event, all bets are off, though, I believe.
Working off of that corner, 2 laps to go. They'll come to the line off of this time by the CRN. 1 to go. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. All details at wearecrn.com. iRacing through the summer months. Football coming up in the at the end of the summer for fall. And right now, Dan West Jr. setting up turn 3, front left wheel up off the ground. It's his race to lose. Here comes Devin. Trying to run him, not there. Dan West Jr. will take heat race number 1 at Knoxville.
So Dan West Jr. picking up right where he left off at Iowa, Eldora, last year. We're in the state of Iowa tonight. How about Devin, the Bristol Dirt winner earlier this year, coming home in 2nd? And he smacked the wall after the fact. So the West family having some fun here at the end of this race.
Good times. What do you think, Samuel Dyer?
Yeah, I mean, our top 3, Dan West, Devin West, and also Stephen O'Hare, all 3 of them looked very clean, crisp, like there was no worries out there on track. But for Dan Lather and everyone else following behind, got to be a little bit concerning if you're struggling with just an 8-car pack. If these guys, how they're going to react when it's a bigger field for the featured race. But heat number 2 already here and ready to go.
All right, Greg, let's give them the lineup, buddy, for heat race number 2. I gave the full lineup of heat 1. You give the full lineup for the second heat. Coming up, another 10 laps.
Let's see what we got here. It looks like Ryan Bloom going to be on the pole for this one with Tyler King, Racetrack King, to his outside. I believe I saw the number 37 of Caden Anderson lined up there in the inside of row number 2 with Dylan Huffines. Welcome back, Dilly in the number 20, making up the first half. Toby Ritters and BJ Tidrick, row number 3. Judd Wakefield making up the inside of row number 4. To his outside, shotgun on the field, Troy Daggett, number 51.
And that's the way they go in heat race number 2. It'll be another 10 laps. Ryan Bloom ready to bring the field to the green flag here. I think they will get 1 more preliminary lap before they take green. And 1 to go being given to the field at the Knoxville Raceway. Wild truck race the other night at Knoxville. And now we set ourselves in for what the Northwest iRacing program will provide. Of course, thanks to Tom Denchel Automotive Group. 3 locations in Washington and Oregon for jumping on board. Field to make their way to the restart zone here for the first official start in this 10-lap heat race number 2. Ready to go here at Knoxville, the half mile for sprint cars, the sprint car capital of the world, if you will. Now, ready, heat 2. Samuel, they're coming to the start out of turn 4.
Yeah, Ryan Bloom going to be the driver to watch out for in that Monster Energy Drink 25 truck. But to his outside, Tyler King, not able to really get the run that he wanted, but here comes the 25 sliding up and dropping back. It's going to be that of Huffins, who's going to have to figure out how to get his way through this field. But entering turn number 3, watch out for Caden Anderson. He's also looking for a win, but Clifford to the outside.
Here comes Clifford, ready. The Ritters family, I know they're pumped up, seeing what he can do in that Bud Riser. Number 23 is right now, you're looking at the black 25 of Ryan Bloom in all of his Monster Energy total glory. Right now, leading the charge into that third turn, opening laps in. Whoa,
hard contact,
trouble.
Ritters, Anto, and BJ Tidgerick, hard contact out of turn 2.
But no caution. Craig will stay green.
Staying green here at Knoxville on the dirt, but this is going to definitely be a shakeup here in this running order. Remember, this is for starting positions in this main event, so we'll definitely be seeing a big shakeup on the grid to start this off. As we settle things down about halfway through this heat race, and a side-by-side battle up here. I believe that's for the lead going on between Anderson. No, that's for the second spot between Anderson and Huffines. Two Yakima boys going at it.
And we're halfway here in heat race number 2 as well. Back straightaway, there goes Caden Anderson, battling for that spot for second. As another one of those dirt contenders back there to third position. Watching them there, Dylan Huffines, Anderson. That's about the best battle on the racetrack right now, if you want to call it that, because all Ryan Bloom has done is pull away. No fits whatsoever for truck 25 from any contenders coming after him. Anderson had a little slip there with Huffines, and while that goes on, closing in on 3 to go, Samuel in turn 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that Ryan Bloom is just pulling away. He was about 3/10 faster than any of the other drivers based off of qualifying coming in here, but it's been fun watching these drivers getting right down to the brim at the inside line and trying to stay close. Don't want to hit the brim, but you certainly want to get as close as possible to carry that speed through the corners early in this track surface.
2 laps to go. Bloom, Anderson, Huffines, King, top board transfer. Right now, they come to the line. The CRN 1 to go in heat race number 2. Greg, it's all Ryan Bloom. Lead them to the turn in turn 2 for the final time, and about to overcome some lap traffic as well to boot.
And Bloom has been so strong this season, must be since joining the series. Strong in all 3 divisions. Our 2 stream divisions, Mondays and Wednesdays, and then our occasionally streamed Friday series. Strong in all 3. Great team picking up a heat race win here tonight on the Knoxville Dirt.
Oh, beating and banging for third place. It's going to go to Tyler King. Huffines, it's actually bumped and taken out. Going to fall for 4th place for the 20 machine.
So when it's said and done, Ryan Bloom will pick up the win for heat race number 2. Remember, as we stated earlier, 1-1-1-1-2-2-2-2-3-3-3-3-4-4-4-4, 5-5-5-5, and so on to set the lineup for the trucks here at Knoxville. Getting ready for heat race number 3, here's Samuel Dyer with the starting lineup of another 10-lap heat at Knoxville.
Yeah, this is going to be our final heat race before our featured race. And on top of the board, it's going to be that of Sean Bridesman. 2 is outside, going to be Casey Garber. In row number 2, we're going to be finding that of Kevin Smith and Jeff Stabnow. Row 3, Frank Harris and Brian Reynolds. And in our final row, that's where we'll find Carl Burke and Dennis Moore.
So let's retract that now. It'll be 1-1-1-2-2-2-3-3-3-4-4-4, 5-5-5, and so on to set the lineup here. And a chickadee boo boo baba G, as him said in our ear.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Lengthy all-star race for the S&B Cup Series has our producer a little irritable here tonight at Knoxville. Oh, he's got the super glue out on the RC car again.
Didn't he super glue a tire to his fingers or super glue his fingers?
Yeah, he super glued his fingers trying to glue tires, I believe is what happened.
Yeah, he was super gluing tires and gluing his fingers together. Don't do that again, him.
Well, it sounds like he's learned his lesson, people. What can I say? Oh, wow. Ready for the green flag. Heat number 3, the final heat at Knoxville underway. Brightsman on the jump, pulls away, clears the rest of the field, and Greg to the back straightaway we go. Here comes Kevin Smith.
Smith trying to reel in Brightsman. Brightsman's been pretty good on the dirt himself. His real-world experience consists of midget racing. I've seen him on pavement, never seen him on dirt, but I have to assume if he races midgets, he's got some dirt track background, so definitely curious to see what he can do here on the dirt. Who's that way up at the top?
Way
That
high.
Gamble in the 54 that was getting up there.
Wow, high, way high, wide in Hampson there, if you will.
It was Carl Burke in the 53, the Rocket Racing entry. Look at this 3 wide here. Full turn 3 and 4. Garber on the outside. More of the meat in the sandwich with Frank Harris there on the bottom.
Samuel, what do you think, man? Good clean run right now, besides what happened to Casey Garber there at the start. But right now, they're all holding their own.
Yeah, it's looking great out here. Dennis Moore started in 8th place for this heat. He's already up to 4th, moving himself up quite cleanly. And looking at some of the pace that we're seeing right now from these drivers, Sean Brightsman doing a great job, kind of like what we've seen through heat 1 and 2. If you're the pole car, you came in with the fastest during qualifying, you're usually going to pull away and feel secure. But looking at some of the other drivers like Kevin Smith, Stabnow, they got to love the fact that they're also keeping themselves pretty neat and tidy and quick up front.
Nice run there going for these drivers. They worked their way back across the start-finish line. Halfway coming up here already in heat race number 3. Final heat. Working their way back around the racetrack. Here they come to the line. 3 laps to go.
Taking laps away, Sean Brightsman once again looking very strong. One of those versatile drivers in the series, Wesley. Can get it done on oval, can get it done on road course, and here he is getting it done on dirt.
He's definitely one of those talented guys we're going to keep an eye on for sure, as right now he sits in a nice, comfortable spot.
Yeah, I mean, 2 laps to go. Sean Brightsman absolutely dominating. 2.2 seconds is the lead. Do you want to give note, Carl Burke? He parked it during this heat, left the server. Who knows if he'll make it for the heat race?
Wow. Carl Burke definitely having problems here. 2 to go at Knoxville in heat race number 3, and the field will be set for 100 laps. Coming up next after a quick warm-up session at Knoxville, white flag in the air, 1 more lap to go. Samuel Dyer and Sean Brightsman out in front.
I mean, almost 2.5 seconds between himself and Kevin Smith. That is great to see from Sean Brightsman. Brightsman, I mean, he's looking poised, and I'm excited to see what our front 3 are going to do. Brightsman, as well as that of Dennis Moore and Devin West and Dan West Jr., and then also looking to see what Ryan Bloom's going to put for speed for our featured race.
Sean Brightsman picking up the win in heat race number 3. Our heat races are done. We will take an extended commercial break. When we come back, the starting lineup presented by Team 126 Racing and 100 laps the Knoxville Dirt Bowl awaits on LSRTV and CRN Sports.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the backstretch. Here comes Jamie Frederick.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
back to coverage. Northwest iRacing Truck Series from the virtual Knoxville Raceway. We await the Knoxville Dirt Bowl with Samuel Dyer, Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland, Rocket Media, and of course Jeff Stabnow, Charles Whitney production for LSRTV, and on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. And we are getting set, gentlemen. What's your take of the heat races so far as we get ready to go for 100 laps coming up next?
Relatively clean, Wesley. I mean, we saw a couple pile-ups in the first one and a couple trucks in the wall, but overall, it wasn't too drastic in those heat races. However, the thing is, most times heat races are like that because we only had 8 trucks in the field. Now, we're going to have pending all 24 trucks here on the track at once as they go to the grid. So I think this is going to be a wild first couple laps as everyone tries to settle in.
Samuel Dyer, real quickly, your thoughts of the heat?
Yeah, I mean, same kind of thing. It was cleaner than what I was expecting, but with the wrecks that we saw, that with this featured race, we'll be seeing cautions, and I'm interested to see if we have a lot of cautions build up, how these drivers are going to be reacting on those restarts.
Ready to go here at Knoxville. Let's give you your starting lineup for the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. Row number 1 will find your heat race winners of heat number 1 and 2. And your starting lineup presented by Team 126 Racing. On the pole, it is Dan West Jr. in truck number 55 to his outside. Sean Brightsman in the number 46. Row number 2 will find Ryan Bloom, heat number 3 winner. And also on racetrack, we'll find, or Sean Brightsman, I'm sorry, Ryan Bloom, then Sean Brightsman. Then we move on to the next row, which will include Devin West and Kevin Smith. Row 4 on track, Tyler King and Jeff Stabnow. The top 8 ready to go for the race.
Getting set here. Sorry, Sam, you're going to have to take the rest of the lineup.
Oh, good. And then we're going to be having that of Dan Lather in 10th position with Dylan Huffline, who's going to be then having that of Casey Garber in 12th, John Odbacher in 13th, Troy Daggett in 14th, and then in 15th, you got that of Brian Reynolds, Stephen Paulson in 16th, 17th will be BJ Tidrick, Frank Harrison 18th, 19th will be that of Aaron Cooper, and finishing out the top 20 is going to be that of Clifford Toby Ritter in the 23 and 20th position. Dennis Moore in 21st, with Chris White in 22nd, Judd Wakefield 23rd, Carl Burke had disconnected during the heat. It doesn't look like he'll be coming back. Stephen O'Hare during warm-ups, he disconnected, has not came back to the race, so we're missing 2. We're going to have 22 drivers on track, ready to go.
Pace truck is in. We are about to sling some dirt in Knoxville, and the Dirt Bowl is underway. Underway, opening laps. We're still green. We had some calamity though, Greg, in the back of the still bouncing off the wall on the camera shot.
Dennis Moore was involved. We know that. Sam saw the rest of it. He was the one that pointed it out to us. A bunch of trucks battling it out deep in the field, got in some trouble. But as we see mid-pack, see some guys trying to work their way through, and you're seeing these guys still trying to drive it. I think they're driving a little like an asphalt track as Brian Reynolds is in the wall, and they're having some issues trying to get used to racing on dirt tonight.
Yeah,
still
and
going.
The drivers are just going a little bit too low, hitting that berm, and just it's launching them off back into the rest of the field. So drivers have to be careful of that. But a lot of good racing we're seeing from those side by side for 6th place as Kevin Smith loses a position to the 20.
Working their way back across the start-finish line. Another lap in. Once they hit off the back stretch, we're in the opening laps. About to be a handful of laps underway in this 100-lap event at Knoxville. Dan West Jr. looking out in front, leading the way. Sean Brightsman, his son, Devin West, Bloom, Anderson, top 5, back to turn 1.
Devin trying to make a move on the high side in the number 5. Shutting the door is Ryan Bloom. In the number 25 as Brightsman tries to reel in Dan West Jr. But Dan West Jr., like we said in the heat race, he's picking up right where he left off in Eldora last year.
Yeah, I mean, these guys right now up front, Dan West Jr. just continuing to pull away, a 1.5 second lap lead, but this battle for second starting to get a little bit closer. Devin West seemed about 2 laps ago getting off of a rhythm. He's trying to get back into a rhythm where he can continue to run well, but a little bit of calamity in the backstretch. We've got that of Casey Garber, also John Ottenbacher, contact for themselves as the leaders are coming up quick behind them.
But no caution. No caution as Ottenbacher back at speed or trying to get going. Here comes Dan West Jr. and Ottenbacher clears the way and lets the 55 go on the outside. That was a smart move.
That had me nervous for a minute, Wesley, because I didn't know what the truck was going to do when he climbed the turn of Stephen Paulison, the Dynaco entry, or not the Dynaco, excuse me, the Sinclair with the dinosaur on it.
Right.
Had some issues.
And he's off the racing surface, believe it or not, and that is no caution either.
Yeah, I think what's going on is the same scenario we saw during Bristol, where there will not be a yellow thrown until a competition caution. Just because some of these wrecks have happened on the racing surface, it would have thrown out a yellow, but based on all these wrecks we've seen with no yellow flag, it might be a competition caution type of a night.
Well, and we also do know these guys are kind of out of the harm's way. So that's why they've not threw a yellow flag either. 3 wide, look at this. There's contact,
to the wall
Devin
again.
West.
The 89 contact between Bloom and West.
Wow. Brightsman clears them. This is going on for 2nd through 5th down the back straightaway, Samuel.
Yeah, and they've got the lap car of John Ottenbacher that was in the mingle watching these guys, but our top 3 keeping it close, and with the addition of lap traffic now in the way, got to hope that they get out of the way of our leader, but it could be a way for 2nd through 4th to try to make a gap, or at least try to trim the gap that Dan West Jr. has made catching up to the 55.
And as Greg reiterated on those drivers slamming and bamming, just a moment, they've got back going again. Dan West Jr. leading the way. John Brightsman in 2nd. Bloom, West. Look at the damage on Ryan Bloom's truck, and he's still in the dogfight here battling Samuel, or Greg.
And look at the damage on the right side of Devin West in number 5. You can absolutely tell those who have been together more than once is Devin trying to fight in at number 5. This is the battle for 3rd right now, going on about 2.5 seconds behind racer Dan West Jr. But Brightsman's right there in front of him, not really gaining much ground on them.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are keeping it close, hard racing for 3rd place, and, you know, our top 4 all still within 3.2 seconds of one another, but lap traffic is going to become a bigger and bigger issue as our leaders come on by. Dennis Moore, Ryder Reynolds, going to be the next 2 drivers that our leader has to get by, as they were battling for position and could be getting in the way and costing time for our leader.
And remember, competition caution, I believe, is at lap 25, is it?
I don't have the confirmed time, but I believe it could be around 25 for these guys.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Greg, if we remember when we done the race, I want to say was it Bristol? They threw a yellow flag like at the end of every 25 laps or something like that. Yeah, I believe
it was 25, maybe 30 laps or so. It was something along those lines. So.
They broke it down into like 4 stages. Yes, sir. Yes.
Aaron Cooper now going to be coming into pit road with trying to get service for the 71, but everyone's staying out here, staying green, and now going to be having Bloom trying to get by Sean Brightsman, and 25 trying to find a little bit of speed on the inside. Well, the 46 seeing that slick mark trying to drive above it, so the differences of ways you can attack these corners now as the track evolves every 15 laps or so.
Great look at Brightsman there in the number 46 as the battle continues behind him between Bloom and West. How about the truck in 5th right now? We haven't talked about this young man because it's been so long since we've seen Dylan Huffines in the number 20 in the Northwest Racing Series, finally back in the series. He was told it was going to be next year that he got to race in the series, and here he is back in it once again in that number 20. Serving a lengthy suspension, and he's back in the field. First time in a long time we've seen young Dilly Dilly out of Yakima.
awaiting the end of stage number 1 here in the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. And out in front is Steele, Dan West Jr. Another thing, gentlemen, we didn't really hit on when we came on the air. This race starting just around sunset, it will finish under the lights at dark conditions, and that will change things up a bit as well.
Yeah, it can dramatically change things up. And when we touched on qualifying and how the track temp was cooler than the ambient temperature, it's actually risen since then. Not really a factor for these drivers to really care about. It's more of how the track evolves slick-wise and where the shiny spots come out. But still an interesting looking as the ambient temp, 72 degrees, track temp 76.
Still a long way to go.
3-truck battle right now. 4th continuing to unfold as West looks like he might finally be able to get around Bloom and now go after Brightsman. Move West onto the podium.
And trying to get there, Dan West Jr. still leading, but here comes Son Devin down to the inside, trying to make a move on Brightsman to get that spot back for the bridesmaid spot. While that goes on, here comes also Bloom ready to close in on those trucks. It might be a 3-truck battle, Samuel, off turn 4.
Yeah, I don't know what Devin found speed-wise that last lap, but he was the fastest truck on track by 2/10. And this time around, he's still the fastest truck on track. And he is just flying. But our top 3, they're slowly trying to chip away. But Dan West Jr., it seems like he's catching lap traffic. It might be costing him time, but overall, still gapping himself from our other 3 drivers.
Cross the stripe, another lap in. Lap number 24. We are waiting for that flag to fly. We are thinking at the end of lap 25. And possibly between 25 and 30. We are believing that these races are set up in stages for competition cautions in an effort to speed things up so we do not have a crazy calamity race like we saw in the real truck race at Knoxville the other night. And we're on lap 25. Dan West Jr. still leads. Look at this battle. Anderson and Tyler King going at it for position on the back straightaway. Greg into turn number 3.
Anderson, remember at one point Anderson was on a streak of what, 3 or 4 straight wins in the series. There's the competition caution, Wesley.
So there you go. I called it right. 25 laps are in and the caution coming out. Dan West Jr. leading at the end of stage number 1. Question is, Samuel and Greg, do we pit or do we stay out on the racetrack for this 100-lap race?
Up to driver discretion, Wesley. I think personally, unless you really need to take that fast repair, I think it's too early.
Samuel Dyer.
Yeah, and with there not being any cautions, I believe these drivers should be good on fuel, so I don't think we're going to be seeing anyone coming in for fuel. It's only for the fast repair, and that's only if you blow your engine that you're going to be using that fast repair. But once that competition caution came out, Stephen Paulson and that of Toby Ritters made contact with one another. I'm wondering if that might be costing one of them to have to come into pit road. Also, while we were under green under our first stage, that of Aaron Cooper did leave with a DNF for that 71 team.
So what we will do is take a quick break from the National Sprint Car capital of the world, the virtual Knoxville Raceway, the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. When we continue, want to send a shout out to somebody tuning into the broadcast from Anderson, Indiana, Mr. Brant Davis, for helping me get my new phone back in order after it died on me at the Redbud 400 on Monday afternoon. A nice techie checking us out, and he is listening, watching the broadcast. Thank you, sir, again for what you did for me. And I got a new phone because of him. Quick break. When we return, more from Knoxville in Stage 2 with the Northwest iRacing Truck Series.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the back stretch.
Here comes Training Frederick.
Back here at Knoxville, boy, oh boy, they put the lights off on the pace truck and they're not wasting no time. We're ready to go. Green flag, stage number 2 underway. And the restart goes to Dan West Jr. Outside lane is Brightsman. Son Devin West to the inside, door to door for that spot off 2.
Side by side for second place, and this is the best for Devin West. He was one of the fastest trucks here as we were coming closer and closer to the end of the stage cautionage. We're going to be seeing these drivers evolving through. Who's going to be able to attack this course as it changes throughout the night? It's looking like Brightsman and also Devin West. They're figuring this thing out. Dan West Jr., he's been a little bit slow on figuring this course out. Here comes that 46 on the inside.
These trucks battle for this spot. It's for the lead. Dan West Jr., he plays surrender man up on the outside lane. His son will play wingman with him down to the inside. Brightsman's there. Here comes also O'Hare. Battle on the backstretch going back to turn number 1.
Still, it's going to be trucks moving higher and higher, trying to find that speed to come out of the corner the fastest that it could be. Brightsman, though, a little bit sideways, losing time and losing a position.
That's Dylan Huffines in the 20, able to get around Brightsman in the 46, and Anderson in the 37 is going to come fighting back on the outside as well.
And those trucks fight that position up the racetrack as here comes Anderson. Brightsman stuck on the inside. He'll catfish on the bottom while someone else is going to the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa. Down the back straightaway. Anderson is there. Stabnow is there. What a battle going on at Knoxville in stage 2 on lap 33.
It's fourth on back.
Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
I mean, it's all fourth on back, and you're starting to see some of these trucks that have the wear and tear still because they've got their engines fully good. They're taking off, but Sean Brightsman, he is stuck on the inside. He's losing time to these drivers that can just hug the wall.
Greg, you were going to say before Samuel reiterated on something.
Oh, I was saying I'm glad Stabnow stuck with that look here this week in that truck as opposed to the gray and the black and red that we've seen this year. I'm happy he stuck with the white truck here this week. I really loved the look of it last time we saw that thing out there. I'm glad he stuck with it. I've been watching for him this week, and I love seeing that truck as we see back.
I think he used that truck on the week before 4th of July, and it was very patriotic, and then he made the decision to keep it instead of the silver and red 4K Ford for the driver of Jeff Stabnow, but a good spot right now, working lap 35 of 100 in the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. Problem, Sean Brightsman looks for a second that he was dirt tracking it and became a stunt man off of turn number 2.
Yeah, he's just running too low. He needs to find a spot where he can come up, but there's just no space right now. And Sean Brightsman went from running in 3rd, now back to 9th. Could be losing more positions, and Greg, I'm surprised that he's not trying to move up or force his way up to the high side.
Bottom of the racetrack. We got a truck spun on the bottom of turn number 2, and Brightsman just about got collected. No caution, though. No caution. We will still stay green as there he is, the man that spun. I want to say it's Judd, and we'll stay under the green flag.
Yep, that's Judd Wakefield in the 50 with a new look on board.
Greg, can we please explain to our viewers, like Brant Davis, a new person to LSRTV and iRacing, why we did not see the yellow flag come out like we would normally think we would see?
So on iRacing, typically dirt races and road courses typically don't have caution flags unless they're set competition cautions. This is a little bit of a different format than what we're used to seeing here, especially with these NASCAR truck style machines. This is something a little bit different as you see the West family right now battling 1-2, trying to make their way through. But yeah, dirt track typically in this style, no cautions unless you set them up. And our admins elected to not set them up, to go just with the competition caution. So the laps are going to click away very, very quickly here, and that's why you're not seeing cautions here in this race.
Back straight away into turn number 3. Again, the leader is still the Dan West Jr. machine. Devin West in 2nd. Remember, guys, he swept Bristol on dirt for Cup and truck for the Northwest, but he's up into the wall in turn 1. He'll save it.
Yeah, he's finding that cushion up there. He's not scraping the wall, but he's just right so close. Good. I mean, he's just trying to find as much space on the high side, but there is that danger of if you slide, that cushion just disappears on you. That outside wall is willing to take and destroy your night.
Trying to find that groove, if you will, up the outside, up against the concrete, if you will. Not the concrete, it's the barrier. It is the fencing here at the Knoxville Raceway, just like in real life. Now he slingshots to the inside, and he spins himself out, and he gets into Danny West a well, and they both go spinning. They're both sliding. West, father, son, take each other out, fighting for the lead on lap 42 out of turn 4.
Who's going to open the door for Dylan Huff finds Dilly back in the field. Pulse Poppers replay on screen. What in the world happened here with the West family?
Wow. Samuel, it all come unglued.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where Devin West was finding his speed, thought that he had a big enough run to try to do a slide job move, and it just went up in smoke. You'll see it here. Coming into turn number 3, here comes Devin West down below and just loops the back end. There just wasn't enough grip on the inside. It spun himself around.
Father and son, and still amongst all that crazy chaos, no caution flag. Dan West Jr. will still be the benefactor out in the lead. Dan West Jr. leads. Devin West went from the penthouse to the outhouse, and he has fallen back in the 5 truck.
But Dan West Jr. was able to hold on to the lead in the number 55. They had such a big lead over the pack. There you see what it's at now, that he's able to hold on over Dylan Huffines in the number 20. However, the field is closing in between Huffines, Anderson, and the pack behind him. So we'll see if he can hold on, especially with that damage now.
Remember, we will get a caution flag on lap number 50. Then there will be a short stint, which will go to lap number 70. Remember, 20-lap sprint for stage 3 until lap 70. And then it is a 30-lap shootout to the checkered flag here at Knoxville.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for that of Devin West is, yes, he's back in 7th place. His truck's damaged, but it looks like most of the damage was to his rear end, not to the engine. So he's still able to rip it on the high side, about to make a pass on Bloom. But for Dan West Jr., luckily he did not get more damage from that incident and still able to hold on to the lead.
Couple of more laps to halfway till the caution at the end of stage number 2. In the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. Welcome to coverage. LSRTV and CRN Sports on production. Charles Wooten, Samuel Dyer, Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland, the voices you hear. And we are closing in on halfway here at Knoxville, virtually on iRacing. Is out in front, Dan West Jr. Everybody, Greg, taking it up to the wall now.
And that is where everybody wants to be. They want to be up at the wall, ripping the lip, pounding the cushion, whichever terminology you prefer. Unless you're Tyler King, who's trying to make a pass on Stab now in the number 21. That's going to open the door for Devin West to fight back. That truck has been in the wall, facing the wrong way on the 1-way, and a lot of damage on the 5. And here he is, still up there, battling it out.
What a way to redeem himself again. And remember, and Samuel, there's no caution flags unless it's the end of the stages. So Devin West had to quickly get back going again because there was not going to be a yellow flag to halt the field. He's 3 wide. He's the hot dog between the bun, the man in the middle. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for Devin West, he wants to go low, try to force this. Is Frank Harris going to get out of trouble? Going to be forcing.
Oh, look at that. We got one on the wall.
Goes into the inside, trying to avoid that of Harrison. It is now cost up the 2nd place position for the 20. It's going to be that of Anderson up to 2nd place.
Caden Anderson,
somewhere
remember at one point he had won 3 races in a row on the series.
He's the all-time winner this season at 4.
Correct.
4 wins for the driver out of Yakima, Washington, with 4 wins, Caden Anderson. And look out. Sideways goes Tyler King, the dirt track king tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
so we're just after halfway, guys.
Yeah, and looking at some of the drivers that are up front, no surprise that we're seeing some of these guys stab now. He's going to go all the way down low, 3 wide through turns number 1. And they're still fighting strong as here comes Huffines, but Stab now gets onto the inside.
You get caught down below the bottom of that apron and it just shoots you out like a cannon. You lose all control. We saw it happen to King. We saw it happen to Stab now. Huffines, and they still get back on the high horse and go. Just after halfway, lap 60 will be the caution, and then we will shoot for a 40-lap sprint. More contact, more calamity down below.
Yeah, it looked like Huffines and Bloom just got locked into one another. Their hit boxes just could not detach until he went over that lip, and finally they did, but costing even more time for the 20. He needs help. More contact. Stab now gets spun on the straightaway.
Trouble. Jeff Stab. Now he got contact. Slammed into by Dan Lowther. No caution. No caution. We will still stay green. And a replay of what happened. Stab now already in the fence. Greg Rentz and then Dan Lowther. Nowhere to go. Just literally gave him a nice little T-bone steak. Send him flying through the air. Wow.
Take a look at what happened again. Here you see Stabnow and Huffines. There's a look at Jeff Stabnow. This is coming off of turn number 4 right here. I believe it was going off into turn number 1 this time that it happened. There's the contact between Stabnow and Huffines. Around goes Stabnow, and then, there was more contact between Lowther and Tidrick before that, I believe. I believe there was a little bit of contact before that as they were battling for position.
And props, by the way, to Stephen O'Hare to get on the binders immediately and to miss that. Hey, look at this. Devin West, he's back up to P3 behind him. Anderson in second. Dan West Jr. closing in on the end of stage number 2 here at Knoxville.
Yeah, and after that contact that Dan Lowther had, he had to pull it into pit road, trying to get service done for himself. But a great racing we're seeing all over the place. This is the battle for 8th place. Kevin Smith gonna give a little bit of contact there with Bridesman, but holds on and stays in 9th.
Just a little sideways, That is 3 wide again. We got one in the fence. There goes Dunn again, wrecked. 3 wide. Looks like BJ Tidrick is smoking. Cheech and Chong riding with him, and we got about 2 laps to go in stage number 2 at Knoxville. And while all this calamity goes on, a demolition derby, it seems like, in a squared circle, they still stay at speed.
Yeah, that was BJ Tidrick that has the blown engine, and he has not pulled it into pit road, still on the back stretch. But we're waiting to see if another competition caution will wave as Dan West Jr. still just cruising along. And some crazy stats looking back at the Bristol race. We ended up with only 6 drivers on the lead lap for the Bristol race. Currently, right now, we're stuck with 11 on the lead lap.
11 on the lead lap. There is 60 laps completed now, and there is the caution, as I said. Yellow flag will come out. Now, by the way, this will be a short 20-lap sprint. Remember, the yellow flag will fly on lap number 80, and then they'll come back for a 20-lap shootout. This is the end of stage number 2. And once again, Samuel and Greg, it's the 55 of Dan West Jr. Bleeping them. Well, there you go. My apologies. We're probably going to get about a 30-lap shootout as it's lap number 60. So I'm trying to remember. No, I'm trying to remember the way they done it. The last dirt race. I want to say it was 25, 60, then on lap 80. Greg, help me out here. And then lap 1. Then they did the shootout to the finish, if I remember correctly.
I believe that's what it is. Yeah.
I know we got a stage coming up, but I think it's next where it's only like 20 laps and it flies by very quickly.
Yeah, the biggest difference, though, I think from that last, times that were those stage caution laps was we were at Bristol for 125 laps. Well, this is only a 100-lap race, 100. So
yeah,
it makes it to where the stage breaks got to be a little bit different than it was for Bristol.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back with more coverage of the trucks at Knoxville in the Dirt Bowl, LSRTV and CRN Sports.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
Welcome back. The trucks at Knoxville. We're ready to go for stage number 3. Nobody came down to the pit lane. This will be the fastest stage of them all. Caution on lap number 80. That gives them 17 laps to rip them up here at Knoxville, and we will rest our voice as we sling some dirt with the Northwest trucks as well. Sparks slamming off the wall with Tyler King, the rest of the field, and Samuel, another calamity caution, but no caution with trucks coming to the pit lane for service.
Yeah, there were at least 6 cars involved in this one. It all started around Chris White, and now into pit road, Dennis Moore, that of Brian Reynolds, also that of Stephen O'Hare, all blown engines, and just for Stephen O'Hare, he's too many laps down. He's decided just to park it for the day.
Tough break there for him. We are closing in at the end of stage number 3. Yellow flag on lap number 80 for these drivers. Fighting it out here at Bristol in the battle for the lead now. The West family, here we go, side by side. Father, son, West to the lead, Greg, in turn number 1. We saw what happened the last time they slipped up in this part of the corner of the racetrack, and it looked like for a second it was going to be that way again.
Side by side, the rematch begins. And I'm with James Thurston in the chat. I want to know what their radio communication sounded like during that accident earlier in the day. And I bet you the rest of the West household was a little bit on edge there for a couple moments.
Dan West Jr. bouncing off the wall, letting that fencing be his friend. Well, that goes on. Devin West right there behind him. Under 10 laps to go here now. Samuel in stage 3 at Knoxville. The battle for the West family in 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, and really watching these guys. Got to say, the posters on turn 1, hiding a lot of the action on the entry of turn 1. That outside wall is being beaten and banging, and these drivers certainly racing off, as now it's a drag weight race between the West family down the front stretch.
Back into turn number 1 and 2 up the racetrack. Both trucks bouncing up off the fencing here at Knoxville into turn number 2. Dan West Jr., Devin West, there you see him playing sneaky peek on Daddy West down in the inside in 3.
Going past lap traffic, I believe that was the 51 of Daggett as the West family picks up right where they left off earlier. Oh! We don't see it happen again, as we want to see who comes out on top in this one.
Both father, son bouncing off the wall. The battle of the West family. Dan West Jr., 2 wins on the year. Devin West, 2 wins on the year as well. And they also are real racers out of Shelton, Washington, fighting for the lead as they go down into turn number 3 and 4.
He was trying to do a crossover move. Devin West to the inside. He's at the quarter panel. He's going to have to get a little bit risky here. But luckily they're able to get by, hoping that Harris will just move out of the way for our leaders as they are coming up to lap traffic. And got to be careful getting by the 11.
Whoa, right into Frank Harris. Frank Harris in the fence. He used him as a pick down to the inside. Devin West will. We're 5 laps to go, Greg, in stage number 3 at Knoxville.
Ooh, West in the wall again in that number 5 as he's trying to ride the top of the racetrack, pounding the cushion as you see this battle going on deeper in the field. Tyler King up to 3rd in the number 21. He's gotten past Caden Anderson in the number 37. And is that Ryan Bloom who's fought his way back into the top 5 right there in the 25 Monster Energy Ford? Yes, it is, up to 5th.
What a great run for that driver as well. He has climbed back, as you mentioned, all damaged, battered, banged, and bruised in that 25 Monster Energy machine. Will not wrestle or get fatigued. He is staying right there within the crosshairs of the all-time winner this season of the trucks of the Northwest Series at 4 for Caden Anderson. Tyler King looking for his first ever taste of dirt truck victory. Could it be at Knoxville? He's sculling off Anderson. They're battling door to door, and they're getting sideways in the wall in 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, right now, looking at this field, it has been a blast to see the battle for third place. Has just been seeing King, also Anderson, Ryan Bloom, willing to duke it back and forth, but also the battle that's going on for 6th place. You've got that of Kevin Smith, Sean Bridesman. They are really just ripping it, while they've also got lap cars in front of them that get Mixie and Harris. And oh no, contact made for Smith and Bridesman.
Oh, wow.
It's a mess on the front stretch.
Dan Lowther.
Bridesman involved, Smith involved, Harris involved. Dan Lowther does make the assist and misses. And all this going on before the end of stage number 3, 1 lap to go until lap number 80 here at Knoxville. We stay green. Sean Bridesman still crashed up against the front straightaway turn 1 wall. He now disappears.
He got no choice. He had to tow.
He was just about a second away from getting a clearance, but didn't want to risk it for Bridesman. Now going to take the tow, and this is going to put him probably about 3-4 laps down with how long this tow is going to be.
And this will complete lap number 80. We should see a caution flag to set us up for a 20-lap shootout here at Knoxville. And while that goes on, you still have the West family battling for 1 and 2 and lap traffic in their midst as they work out of turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, lap traffic was always going to be known as one of the biggest sticklers through 3 wide, but Devin West finds the space. Slide job move for the 5 to the lead, and Dan West.
Dan West sideways. Yes, sir. New leader, Devin West. Devin might have faltered the first time, but says, Daddy, not this time. He is to the lead. Using lap trucks as a pick. Dan West Jr. losing ground on Devin West. He's in stealth mode into turn 1.
Dan West Jr. is playing catch up for the first time tonight, and now we're seeing the pressure starting to mount up because he is in the wall a couple times now.
Another truck in the wall in front of Dan West Jr. And viewers and listeners, I'm confused. I was thinking somewhere along this way we would see a final caution coming out. But I don't think we're going to see a yellow flag now. 17 to go. All bets are off at Knoxville. And it is now Devin West. Who could we say, Samuel Dyer, the dominator of dirt this year for the Northwest Truck and Cup Series in the 5.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the drive of tonight, Devin West, what a rebound it's been for this 5 truck. He tried to make the pass on his dad earlier in the race, but it kind of turned into a blunder, spinning himself out, and now he's up front. Biggest thing that Devin West needs to be aware of is where lap traffic is. He almost got himself in trouble with White a couple of laps back after a miscommunication call between those 2 drivers. From here on out, Devin West needs to make sure he is on the same queue as the lap cars he's catching up with, but looking at Bristol and how that dirt race went, you had Devin West winning, Sean Bridesman in 2nd place, Jeff Stabnow, Caden Anderson in 4th. Those are the 4 drivers that came into this race that are really showing pretty well for themselves until Bridesman got caught up in a mess, Stabnow got caught up in a mess, Caden Anderson running in 4th place, trying to do a pretty similar thing that he did back at Bristol.
Devin West leading, Samuel, as he talked about. And Greg, he is starting to now pull away. He's not took the lead. He has taken the lead and pulled away from his dad.
And how about that? He's putting Dylan Huffines a lap down right now. Remember, it was not too long ago Huffines was up in contention for the lead. That shows you just how quickly a good race can go bad here in the dirt.
And the same could be said again about Sean Bridesman, as you just mentioned as well. Closing in on under 15 laps to go here at Knoxville in the Dirt Bowl. Anderson, shower of sparks off the fence, closing in on Tyler King. And the Pales Orange machine will set sail and try to scamper away from him in turn 1.
Devin West is flying right now, as he is almost a full second faster than his dad right now. He's running in second place, as Tyler King, Caden Anderson, they're getting mixy for third.
A little slip there and allows Anderson to battle and go to that third spot. But here comes King battling back on the inside as Anderson got up in the fence in 3.
Caden Anderson fighting with Tyler King right now for a spot on the podium. Tremendous battle right now, and lap traffic beginning to feel as well, as we are in the closing stages here at Knoxville.
Closing in on 10 laps to go here in the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. King now trying to move around, as well as Anderson. Lap trucks to Frank Harris. Shootout time. The laps continue to tick away. 9 to go. Next time around for Devin West. Checking out on the field. No one can catch. He has now cut the interval to almost 5 seconds and more over Daddy West, Samuel, as the laps tick away.
Yeah, I mean, Devin West, when he's got clean and no lap traffic to worry about, he's running almost a full second faster than the rest of the field. When there is traffic, he's running still about 0.3 faster and making the entry of turn 1, that outside wall, his friend, helping him really get through the entry of these corners. And what's incredible is right now, Devin West trying to inch closer and closer to Casey Garber to try to put down leave us with only 5 drivers on the lead lap as the laps continue to tick away.
And here he comes, the leader trying to split between 2 lap machines as Clifford Ritter's on the inside. Audenbacher in 89 to the outside. Audenbacher in the wall. Here comes now clearing Clifford. West, and West will now get around Audenbacher, and he done it in grand style as the laps tick away with 7 to go, Greg, here at Knoxville.
Closing stages at Knoxville. Devin West looking for the dirt sweep in the trucks, and what a comeback it has been. Look at the 5 truck, just the damage on it after that incident earlier with his father and having to fight his way back. What a comeback effort for this young man.
And what Greg is reiterating on in all the dirt events so far this season, Devin West dominated the Cup and the trucks at Bristol. And then this event here tonight at Knoxville, because the Northwest Cup Series was at Nashville Super Speedway on Monday night. Of course, we saw the Bumblebee man win. Jason Peterson pick up another win on the series as the laps tick away. 5 laps to go here at Knoxville. Dan Lowther to the inside. And still running on board with the 5, Samuel. What a great run on the top shelf, looking good and looking for the checkered flag down the home stretch at Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, Greg touched on it, surviving the wreck and making it his way through the field. I mean, with the way that he wrecked, luckily he ran into the wall, spun around, backed the rear end into the outside wall. If he had damaged the nose or the engine, Devin West would not be in this scenario, but because of kind of a luck that he didn't wreck that engine, he only dropped back to 8th place, slowly, methodically cut his way through that lead pack, and now pulling away almost over a 7.5 seconds over his dad, who's in 2nd place.
Moving by more lap trucks now. Casey Garber going a lap down, trying to 2 laps to go, Greg, in the Knoxville Dirt Bowl. It's all Devin West leading in the corner.
But he's in the wall. Fortunately, I think he has a big enough lead that he's able to continue on. These trucks so much stronger. There goes Breitzman in the number 46 around once again as he tries to play catch up. But these trucks are just so strong they can take a licking and keep on ticking. And Devin West is doing exactly that here. He's going to see the CRN 1 to go here next time at the line.
What a performance by the number 5, Devin West from Shelton, Washington. There's Paulison spun down below the apron. He's out of harm's way. Back straightaway. The sprint car capital of the world for the first time ever for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. And now the sweeper of dirt for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. The Knoxville Dirt Bowl goes to Devin West in 5. 2nd spot will go to Daddy Dan West Jr. Tyler King with a great run for 3rd. Wow. And now they are crashing to the checkered flag, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, what a race this was. Drivers got a couple of stage breaks to try to recoup, but it was all about who was going to win from that West family. The first about 3/4 of this race, all Dan West Jr., but that final stint, that's when it really matters, and it was all Devin West who figured out late in this race how to run that top shelf.
You see to the turn 3 of the racetrack, they are shooting off the pyro. Virtual fireworks, as they always do at the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. What a race, and we know what's coming up next. Celebration time. I think Daddy Dan West Jr., Greg, is going to get some payback on Son West, and nope, Dan Lowther puts in the proverbial first blow. There goes Daddy West putting him in the fence.
He got some help from Toby Ritters. Here goes Frank Harris piling. Ritters is on his lid. Stop now.
Oh, my God.
Home run on Ritters.
Ritters is not the winner. You're taking out the wrong truck. Jeff
Wrong
Stab now.
yeah.
What do you...
Well, he's in prime position, and now he's off the wall.
He was stuck on the wall a moment ago. Oh, my goodness. Wow. BJ Tinnick about put him into the grandstand fencing over there. Guys, there is a highway outside of turn 1. You better. Highway 14. You better. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Ass first, it breaks the fall. Wow. Well, Devin West, I think you have got. Oh, here comes someone else. One more time. Nah, he says I've had enough of it. Yeah, my jam playing. Results presented by sawblade.com here at Knoxville. Devin West over Dad Dan West over 9 seconds at the checkered flag. Tyler King third, Caden Anderson fourth, and Brian Bloom of 5 trucks at the checkered flag on the lead lap. Casey Garber will finish 6th, 1 lap down. Kevin Smith 1 lap down in 7th. Dylan Huffines in 8th, 1 lap down. Tidrick 1 lap down in 10th. We'll go to Toby Ritters, 2 laps down at the checkered flag, Greg, here at Knoxville.
Sam, I take 7, you take 7 for the 24 trucks. Jeff Stabnow in the 11th spot with Dennis Moore behind him in the 44. Dan Lowther had to take the fast repair in the number 63, fights back for 13th. Frank Harris and Sean Bryson round out the top 15. Ottenbacher and Paulison 16th and 17th.
17th is going to be the last of the drivers that could finish out this race, that being Brian Reynolds, and then Chris White in 19th. Could not finish out the race. Too much damage for himself as well for Judd Wakefield in 20th position. Leading out the rest of the field, it's going to be Troy Daggett, Stephen O'Hare, Aaron Cooper, and Carl Burke. Carl Burke did not even take the green, but he did run a couple of laps in the heat race.
And that's the unofficial results. That'll become official after it's all said and done. The Knoxville Dirt Bowl, again, going to the sweeper of dirt for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series this year. Shelton Washington and the number 5 of Devin West. And again, guys, he came back after him and his father should be out of the race. You would think they'd have been all tore up, but they redeemed themselves. Daddy still stayed in the lead. Dan West Jr. in the front spot. And then Devin West fell all the way back to 7th or 8th, and he began his ascent to run back down his father. One hell of a battle down the stretch. They raced each other as clean as you could, slinging dirt. And Greg, when it's said and done, he picks up his 3rd win on the season, 2nd to the season all-time win list, of course, joining Caden Anderson, and he sweeps dirt this season.
Great effort by Devin West in the number 5, fighting back after the accident to come home, sweep the dirt races, and he's a dirt racer in real life just like his father, so he knows how to get it done here on the dirt track. So not surprised to see the West family dominating today, but man, what a battle they put on.
We will take an extended break to thank our sponsor, Tom Denchel Automotive Group, as well as many others. When we come back, Greg, Samuel, and I will grab a word with the top 3 at the Knoxville Dirt Bowl on LSRTV and CRN Sports, with your home for sim racing and a wild one, virtual iRacing Knoxville style. Welcome back to the virtual Knoxville Raceway. The Knoxville Dirt Bowl did not disappoint. Welcome back to coverage on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. Those that are tuned in on the Community Radio Network at wearecrn.com. Everybody at Rocket Media, thanks you for joining us. Of course, with Chef Stab now, Charles Wooten in the production chair, Greg Rentz, Samuel Dyer. I'm Wesley Outland. We will talk to the top three and put a close on this event. First, we'll grab third place, the driver, the number 21, Tyler King. This has got to be like a race win for you, bud. Good spot being on the podium. And that Pills Oranges 21 truck to teammate Stephen O'Hare looked really good here tonight. Your take of surviving the dirt at Knoxville.
Oh yeah, we had a real good night. First of all, I wanna say hi to Beaver State family member Brian. I just want to tell him that we love him. We're praying for him. We're thinking of him, and hope to see you soon. But as far as the race, it's just about staying disciplined, staying off the wall, staying off other cars, running your race. You can't drive too hard. But yeah, this is like a win for me. Finishing behind the West is pretty dang good on a dirt track. So I'm pretty proud of the effort we put in for the week. We're riding high right now. Got to keep it going.
Tyler, you mentioned that finishing behind the West 1-2 on a dirt track is big, and we were watching you. I was impressed with how you were doing it on the dirt track. Do you have a lot of dirt track experience on iRacing, or is this just kind of full send and see what happens?
Yeah, when iRacing released the dirt stuff, I kind of dove in head first. It was a lot of fun. But, I wasn't very good at it at the start, so I took a long break until they separated the licenses. Stefan got on iRacing like full time a couple years ago, and he and I would race non-stop on the dirt tracks. Late models, sprints, and then we got super into the UMP dirt modifieds. So it's kind of helped figure out how to drive these big, heavy trucks with lots of power around a dirt track with little to no traction. I have a good amount of experience. I'm not very successful, but it's about the discipline. Teaches you discipline and throttle control.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, also you can thank your sponsors after this one, but a great showing at Pocono and then here tonight at Knoxville. How does it feel getting that mojo and start moving in the right direction as we're getting closer and closer to playoff time?
It's feeling good. Starting off the year, I had problem after problem after problem. We'd start the race and get caught up in something, and I'd be behind the 8-ball at the start of the race, and I would just be riding around in like 20th all day. So to get breaking through, getting consistent runs, finishing the races, not getting caught up in people's mess, not creating your own mess, we're in a good position to hopefully step a couple spots on the podium here.
And there you go, a good run for the driver of that number 21 machine of Tyler King. Thanks, buddy, and we'll see you next week. I believe it is Nashville for the trucks at the Nashville Super Speedway next Wednesday as well. Third place for the driver of Tyler King. Runner-up, the West family. Dan West, man, first off, your take of the race. Man, you were so strong at the start of things, fighting with your son for the lead the first go around. You guys took each other out, then you got back and you kept staying in the lead. He ran you back down, and then it was an eventful last 7 laps with under 20 to go to see you guys fight for the win. And you settled for second here tonight. Your take on things?
First of all, congrats to Tyler. That's pretty awesome. Like you said, it's just all about discipline, right? I mean, just patience and throttle control. The racing with Devin was what I was hoping for. I mean, we seemed like we got to battle for quite a few laps, and it just come down to I just got beat. It just seemed like as the laps went on, he got faster, I got slower. So I don't know. We were running a little bit different set, pretty close, but just a little bit different. And I thought I was going to be better, to be honest with you. And but either I got tired and I wasn't doing the discipline part or what. And it's all comes down to throttle control, throttle management, and just keeping the truck straight.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Dan.
it was a long race out there, battling out with your son for most of it. And not once, but twice it came down to you guys. We had the incident, unfortunately, right around the halfway point, but you guys both were able to fight back. And then we saw the rematch. What was going through your mind through that second one? Were you guys like trying to not do that again, or was there any like, okay, let's see what happens this time?
Well, yeah, I kind of was thinking the same thing what you're saying. Like, let's see what happens this time, because the first time, like Devin said, he kind of tried to throw a slider on me and it didn't work out. So he was obviously a lot more patient the second time, and he was obviously faster than me. So all I could do was just hold my line, and once he was there, I just had to kind of concede to it. So hell of a job to him. I mean, I was actually pretty impressed in the way he just drove away. So I got some work to do, obviously.
Yeah, Dan, you also could thank your sponsors after this question, but when I know the track is always evolving, but at what point did you realize that, the track was shifting from the inside to the outside lane?
I think you just, as a dirt racer, you can see the line, right? I mean, you just kind of start chasing it up the track. It seemed like early on the bottom was really fast. That was the place to be, but you could just kind of see the color in the track changing, and you kind of had to go there. And you're watching your mirror, watching other trucks, making sure they're not staying on the bottom, they're faster. It was just, you kind of just experience. You just follow that line and just keep chasing up the track. Sponsors, LSRTV, you guys are awesome. Effective Web Solutions, Tom Dental Auto Group, appreciate everything they do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everything Northwest Racing does for us.
That's Dan West Jr. again from Shelton, Washington. He will settle for the number 2 spot to victory lane. We go now into his son, Devin West. He sweeps dirt this year for the Northwest Racing Truck Series presented by Tom Dental Automotive Group this year for the series. He swept Bristol. Now he wins the race at Knoxville. But Devin, it wasn't easy. Talk about surviving Dad and the rest of the pack to win here and claim the inaugural Knoxville Dirt Bowl.
Yeah, definitely. I know in both series, the Cup and the truck this year, at least in the past month or so, I've had pretty bad, I wouldn't say luck. It's kind of just all me. I've just kind of been in a slump, and I've been running pretty bad. Obviously, in Nashville, I didn't even finish in the Cup car. And so I kind of put my head down for this race and decided I want to go out there and perform the best I could and try to get a win if I could, get going back in the right direction. And so definitely glad I was able to do that and fight with Dad for a little bit and not take him out the second time around. That was nice. But it was definitely a scary moment. I'm glad we recovered from that and were able to battle again to the end. But good race.
Devin, talk a little bit about the rematch and the pass that you eventually were able to make on your dad. We asked him the same thing about the battle in the second round between you guys. We saw what happened the first time. You mentioned that it was kind of unfortunate and you just wanted to shake it off and get things going there. Tell us what was going through your mind the second time when you got back to him in the closing stages.
I think I learned a lot just from, being behind him in the first go-around and then having to pass, I think 5 or so cars get back up to him after falling back to 7th or whatever it was. And I just kind of learned that, on these kind of tracks, you can't make a pass happen, right? You have to let a pass come to you. And the guy in front of you either make a mistake or open the door or whatever the case may be. So once I got back up to Dad, I kind of realized that, with 5 cars, I had plenty of opportunity there. And I could tell I was a little bit faster. And I was just kind of waiting for him to either, not make a mistake, because Dad doesn't really make very many of those, especially in the dirt. But just kind of wait for my line to prevail a little bit, and kind of open the door somewhat. And once I got Nathan there and down the front straightaway, I knew I had to kind of go. So I think, like my dad said, just patience and just kind of taking my time helped me out a lot.
Yeah, and Devin, you'd also thank your sponsors after this question, but we saw that was probably the hardest part, stay patient to pass your dad. Then the next challenge was making sure you didn't get any trouble with lap cars. How was it trying to stay patient around the lap cars knowing you were so much faster than them?
That's the big, question for the leader every single race, right? Pavement or dirt or road course, whatever it may be. And I think the guys afterwards, after the race, I just thanking them for, being patient with me as the leader and I ran up on them. They all did awesome and gave me room and made sure they give me the line I wanted to run. So, this league is a bunch of great guys, a bunch of smart racers, and so, it really wasn't too difficult. But for sponsors, obviously, like my dad said, LSRTV, you guys do a great job on the broadcast. Tom Denchel, they help out this series a bunch. Then my sponsors, Washington Cedar Supply, Effective Web Solutions, King's Custom Hardwood, Motorsports Distributing, Advanced Automotive. So you guys all help me out in real life dirt and also in the video game, so big thank you to them.
Well, when it's all said and done, again, Devin West picking up the win here tonight for the Knoxville Dirt Bowl, sweeping the season here for dirt competition at the Knoxville Raceway and at the dirt track at Bristol earlier in the season as well. And again, picking up his third win now on the season. Along with still Caden Anderson at 4. His dad 2 wins. Sean Brightsman with 2 wins. 1 win for Stephen O'Hare. 2 wins for Paul Newton. And of course, Kenneth Garber winning a wild one as well earlier in the season at Atlanta. And that is the way that they look in the point standings, or as wins, as the points will be tallied up. And Samuel, Greg, final thoughts. And Greg, we'll pack her up, get ready for Nashville next week. It should be fun. Then we have a week off, and then it's ready for another stretch of 4 or 5 weeks of competition down the road to the playoffs.
Man, I love watching these trucks on dirt, Wesley, no matter the track. Eldora, Bristol Dirt, Knoxville. I want to see about maybe getting these guys on a few more dirt tracks next year, because this has been a ton of fun. We added more road courses to the schedule this year. I want to plant a bug in the powers that be's ear and see about getting a couple more dirt tracks on the schedule, because this thing was awesome tonight. Always a blast calling dirt. Nashville, I'm excited. This is such a unique racetrack, a 1.2-mile concrete D-shaped oval, the only one of its kind, brand new to the iRacing server, the newest oval track on the server. I can't wait to see the trucks rip around. I didn't get a chance to watch on Monday, but man, I'm excited to see these guys rip around at Nashville next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And in addition to that, the next race for the Northwest Cup Series will be at the Rockingham. Talking about going back to your roots next Monday night. That's going to be pretty darn fun. Samuel, your thoughts on Knoxville tonight, though, for the trucks?
Yeah, I mean, it was looking like it was going to stay pretty green for a lot of this race. Again, only the cautions came during those stage breaks, but everyone was keeping it pretty neat and tidy. There were only a few wrecks here or there. But I got to say, the West family, they did it again. I mean, dirt track racing, they are always the hardest ones to beat. But credit to Tyler King for a third-place finish.
And that will wrap up our coverage here tonight on LSRTV as well as on CRN Sports. By the way, if you'd like to know more details, go to LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But subscribe on LSRTV on YouTube. And, of course, CRN Sports at CRN Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we are CRN.com. And, by the way, the LTAC Cup Series will be on Friday night around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And in addition to that, we'll also have the Northwest ARCA Series at Rockingham, preparing for next week for the Cup and Trucks at Rockingham and Nashville. For Jeff Stabnow, for Charles Wooten in the production chair, and everybody at Rocket Media, for our announcing team, including Samuel Dyer, Greg Rance, I'm Wesley Outland, we congratulate Devin West, the winner of the Knoxville Dirt Bowl here at Knoxville Raceway. Thank you for listening and watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.